What up, guys? It's your boy, Illinois Valley here. And today we're going to talk about a question I frequently get asked, and that is why do I like Samurai as my main? Samurai as my main in PvP and PvE. And I'm here to talk about that for a little bit because I do get asked quite a bit, and I thought maybe I'll just dedicate a whole video to it because why not? It seems to be what people do when it comes to making content in Final Fantasy XIV. They got to justify why they like a certain job or certain race or whatnot, certain glam, certain nightclub. Anyway, we're veering off topic like I always do. Why do I like Samurai as my main in PvP first? All right, so if you know my background at all, my MMO background is I am a PvP like junkie, right? I just absolutely love PvP in all MMOs. So naturally, when I came to Final Fantasy XIV, I was going to give PvP a try. Now, admittedly, not to sidetrack too much, when I first started playing Final Fantasy XIV, it was before the PvP changes, and I absolutely hated it, and I didn't want to play PvP at all. But then we made changes, all right? And we made changes to jobs, and we made changes to PvP in general, and so that's when I really got into PvP in Final Fantasy XIV. Of course, I'm going to have to pick a main, right? So anyway, back to my background. My background in MMOs, a lot of people know me as a 1vxer, right? That's me soloing as much as possible, getting kills on my own, right? I don't need help from nobody. In Final Fantasy XIV, PvP is normalized, right? So 1vxing, it's just not a thing in Final Fantasy XIV, or is it? See, now the thing about Samurai is it has everything in its toolkit that you would want to be a 1vxer, right? It's tanky, it does a lot of damage, it's got self-healing, it's got damage mitigation, and the key factor to all of it is it has a one-shot mechanic, not one target, but multiple targets, which makes Samurai a hell of a candidate to be a 1vxing machine in Final Fantasy XIV. And let me tell you, this is why I main Samurai in PvP. I would like to do as much soloing or 1vxing as possible. Of course, I do want to win the matches, so I will not do it to the point where I'm not focusing objectives because I do want to win. Winning is big for me. Like I like to win. I'm not I'm not a big fan of taking the L's, you know what I mean? So like I like when I get caught in a situation where it's just me versus multiple opponents and I can take care of business. You know what I mean? Like it's very satisfying and it brings me back to my roots. And this is why Samurai is my main in PvP. Now I'm not saying I don't play other jobs in PvP because I do. You guys all know I post videos pretty much of all jobs that I mean not all of them, but in general, I play multiple jobs, so like it's not like I am just samurai and samurai only. But yes, samurai is my main, and if there's a map that I like, say like Steel Rock, which is what we're watching in the background, I'm going to play samurai. So then the next question I always get is why samurai in PvE? And this question's easy, actually. This one's a lot easier to explain than it is for the PvP, right? So basically, when I first started playing, I started as a bard, right? And bard's fine. I liked bard. It was fun. I enjoyed it. And then I got to level 50, and I unlocked samurai on a whim. And I started playing it, and just the whole melee, just all of it. I loved it, right? And so I ended up playing Samurai pretty much throughout the whole storyline. After, I would say, obviously I finished A Realm Reborn as a bard, but then when I got into Heaven's Ward, I was on Samurai at that point, and I played Samurai from Heaven's Ward on, right? Because I loved it. And the question is like, why? It's I think it's a sentimental attachment now, right? But it's not just the sentimental aspect of it, though. Samurai is the most selfish job in Final Fantasy XIV when it comes to PvE, and basically your job is to do damage. You don't have to worry about anything else. Your job is to do damage and kill shit. And like it don't get any more simple than that, right? And on top of that, the rotation is not overly complicated. And that makes it perfect for somebody like me who's basically I'm a casual player, right? I play when I can. A couple hours a day maybe, like so technically makes me a casual player. So like I can jump on Final Fantasy 14, jump on my samurai and be like an instant difference maker. People like say, "Hey, we're going to run this dungeon," or "Hey, we're going to do this alliance raid," or "Hey, we're going to do treasure maps. We could really use some DPS." And I can hop right on my samurai and I'm instantly helping my group. You know what I mean? So samurai PvE pretty simple. It's sentimental and like not overly complicated, right? So that's why I love samurai and PvE. And so then that brings me to the last question I'm always asked. If I'm doing samurai main on PvE and PvP, doesn't it get boring? And the simple answer to that is, yeah, of course. I mean, there's times when I'm just like, okay, like I've done this, like I've done this a lot, and I'll take a little break and I'll play something else, right? It's not the only job in the game, so I could take breaks and play other things, right? So does it get boring? Of course. Anything you do, like in life, where you're just like doing it constantly over and over and over, it's going to get mundane, right? It's going to get boring. It's going to get stale. So you gotta mix it up, and that's the key, right? It's just to mix it up. There's multiple jobs in the game for a reason, so we can mix it up, and so I do. I don't necessarily just play samurai, even though it's my main. I do play a lot of it. I wouldn't say I play samurai all the time, though, right? So, like, yes, it's my main for PvE and PvP, but I do play other jobs. Of course, variety is life. So, I hopefully that kind of answers those questions. Um, Now we talk about the subject, if you made it this far in the video, that I've been kind of like holding on to or not really, just kind of giving it room to breathe, and that's, am I going to continue to stream Final Fantasy 14? And as of right now, the answer is no. I do not plan on streaming Final Fantasy 14 anymore because the whole point of streaming is to have interactions with everybody. And to be honest, uh, nobody nobody joins my stream except for Salamander. God bless you. You are like the one person that like consistently is in there supporting me and keeping my stream active because that's what I want. I want to be in there talking to everybody, and I do appreciate him for that. So thank you, sir. But other than him, I don't get a lot of people in there, and so basically I'm just playing the game, and I could just do that with my friends on Final Fantasy 14. I could be in chat with them and just play the game. So as of right now, as of today, I do not plan on streaming Final Fantasy 14. If I do stream, it's just because you know I just why not? But for like a consistent schedule, I'm just not going to do it. And then as far as Final Fantasy 14 content goes in general, I do plan on doing content still, but um, it's going to be a variety of things. It's not going to be kind of the normal stuff I have been doing. A lot of my videos that I do that are like the most randomest things are the ones that actually do pretty well. So we're going to continue to do those because if they're going to do well, then we're going to continue to do it, right? So so yeah, so that pretty much ends this video. I want to thank you guys if you've made it this far for making it this far. And I hope you all are having a good day and peace.